Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm on the internet, which is crazy. I've decided to make a YouTube channel because no one stopped me. Do I know how to script? No. Do I know how to edit? No. Do I know how to talk? Yeah. Partially, I'm making this channel because our resident Tumblr historian, Sarah Zed, won't make a video about Voltron. She just won't do it. Which is her loss, because I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna be the change that I want to see in the world. Isn't that great for me? She teased us with the dirty laundry April Fool's Rickroll, and I haven't gotten over it since. Like, I haven't stopped thinking about it. So I have decided, I've made the executive decision that I am going to be the one to make the dirty laundry video. I've decided that. I was there. And I remember. For those unfamiliar with Voltron or the Voltron fandom in general, what was Dirty Laundry? Okay, so Dirty Laundry was a very popular Clance fanfiction, a pairing between the characters Keith and Lance from the show Voltron Legendary Defender, that came out in late 2016, meaning it was written between season 1 and season 2, because season 2 came out in early 2017, and it was big. It pretty much defined a lot of the fanon characterization of the characters Keith and Lance and their dynamic, like in the fandom in general. It was big. People called it the Clance Bible. There are a couple posts saying that, but it's not the Clance Bible. There actually is a Clance Bible. It's called the Clible. It has since been deleted, unfortunately. But it was... I can make a whole nother video about the Clible. God, the Clible. Okay. Yeah. So it was huge. I think at one point, it was one of the most kudosed fic on Archive of Our Own. It is an 85,000 word long, like modern college alternate universe fic, because yeah, people were really into writing like AUs at the time, because they were like, we don't know enough about the canon universe, so we're just gonna take these characters and put them in college or high school or in a coffee shop or in a tattoo parlor or in a flower shop or in the mafia, organized crime. Anyway, yeah. They did like the dynamic between the gay boys, because people on the internet like that kind of stuff. So what was the plot? Well, first of all, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what the plot was. So here's the basic premise. Lance is like, guys, to his friends, which are the other members of Team Voltron, like the other characters in the show, because, you know, fan fiction. He's like, guys, I may or may not have told my family that I have a boyfriend and I'm bringing him home for Christmas break. And his friends are like, okay, cool. What are you gonna do about it? We're all busy. Except for Keith. But the thing is, they don't really like each other. That's a whole thing about the dynamic. Like, the thing is, Keith and Lance don't like each other for whatever reason. In the show, it's like a whole rivalry thing, but I can talk about that later. You know what? I could talk about Clance on end, but not right now. This is about this fic in specific. So, he's like, Keith, I know you're not busy. And Keith's like, no, I don't want to do it, because they don't like each other. So Lance is like, I'll do your laundry for free for like 2 months. Hence the name Dirty Laundry. I don't actually think it references the song by Don Henley at all. I could be wrong about that though. And you will pretend to be my boyfriend for like a week. And then they make a deal. There's like a funny little road trip scene. Part of the characterization is that like, Keith is emo. I'm so emo. Ugh. And Lance is like fruity and likes pop music. and it's like, I'm gonna listen to Beyonce. That was a very popular characterization in the fandom at the time because it was 2016. So yeah. Lance lives in Arizona and his family is Mexican-American because this fic was written prior to the crew confirming that Lance is from Cuba. So many people at the time just wrote Lance as like Latino. The thing about Voltron is that they didn't have canon last names. So a lot of the time, fic writers would just take the last names from the prior iterations of Voltron because there's prior iterations. So a lot of the time they would just use the name Lance McLean for him and Keith Kogane for Keith, which is like crazy because it's just to show how much Voltron sucks. They're like, we are not giving canon last names to the majority of our characters. Like that didn't change by the end of the run of the series. Like they still didn't have canon last names. The author gave him the last name Lance Sanchez because Latino. And like the naming, and this is pre-canon for a lot of things, like Lance, it was confirmed that like Lance did have a pretty big family back home because like pictures were shown or whatever. But like the names weren't canon. They do eventually get canonized, or at least some of them do. But like the naming and the characterization of Lance's family was really impacted by this fic. Like one quote, I'm looking at the Dirty Laundry like fan wiki right now, shout out, because that's where I'm getting most of my information, because a lot of this you'd have to like really deep dive for, or look through like a lot of deleted posts because a lot of the stuff is deleted now. It's like, Lance's mom is named Rosa because I'm dirty laundry trash. Yeah, so it really did affect a lot of the fandom and like the way that fanfictions were written. God, what was I talking about? Sorry, I have ADHD. Anyway, the thing about this fanfiction is that like the portrayal of like the Latino American experience is like, it's debatable. I mean, obviously I don't really have a say in this. I'm just reading from like comments that people made. But like, it's, people have mixed feelings about it. So people have problems with like Lance's family being portrayed as like kind of generally homophobic, or at least some of the members of his family. Like there was a meme in the Voltron fandom post this fic because it was like the fic for a while, that was like, Abuela is coming, because like Lance's grandma was homophobic. So we were like, Abuela is coming, oh no, dame más gasolina. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The author decided to make the song Gasolina by Daddy Yankee, like banger, by the way. Make it like, kind of like the song of the fic, the sound of the summer, except it was Christmas break. People also had issues with the portrayal of one of Lance's siblings who was an autistic person, because, yeah, I don't believe that the author is neurodivergent themselves. They've never said anything about that. And I think there were some problematic things where the character has to be like restrained by another family member, which is, you know, problematic, and a lot of autistic people really don't like that because it's not a good practice for when an autistic person is having a meltdown. Here is a statement from the author, Gibbs Blythe. I know that they were an artist, and I think they still are an artist in fandom, and I didn't really know that they wrote fics before this, but I guess they write, so here we go. This is after one of the chapters of the fanfiction was posted, because people did have like backlash against it. Okay, so it's been brought to my attention that Dirty Laundry is enforcing negative stereotypes about Latinx and Mexican culture, and after much thought, I've decided that I completely agree. I'll admit, I'm ignorant. I'm white, and that right there is proof that I'm out of my element. While I did do research on some things, I definitely didn't do enough research on other things. I was naive. I am naive. I was somewhat caught up in this fame of a fanfic that I posted purely for fun. To all of the Mexican and Latinx readers who were hurt by Chapter 9, or honestly any chapter in general, I'm extremely sorry, and you all deserve the greatest apology. The gasolina and la chancla mentions were disrespectful, and although at the time I didn't process that in my mind, I now realize that they are incorrect. I can guarantee you that I never meant to be harmful. It was me being arrogant, insensitive, and not thinking things through. However, that is absolutely no excuse, and I'd really like to face the consequences. And they go on to say that they're not going to stop writing, and they're going to change things, and she also asks people, like, if there are any Mexican-American people that are, like, want to be a resource for the culture. But they didn't take out gasolina. They didn't take it out. They kept it in there. And people were mad at this. They were like, you apologized, but you kept going and you kept writing this fic, which people took issue with. And they were writing a fic that heavily relied on like stereotypical characterizations of like Latin American culture. So yeah, I don't really have a side on this, but like based on the things that some of my friends have said about it, I'm like not really a fan. Yeah, and it wasn't that good of a fic anyway. Like, their writing was fine. So it's like, yeah, you did this for what? People were, you know, mad. People were mad. And people were like, hey, Gabe Slythe, why'd you write this? Why'd you write it? And like blowing up their ask box, being like, we don't like it. Some people were less sensitive than others because it's Tumblr and the internet. Here comes the fun part. On August 15th, 2018, the fic was replaced with the B-movie script. It was August 15th, 2018, and Gabe Slythe tweeted a screenshot of Dirty Laundry with the title changed to Dirty Lawn B because they just didn't like it anymore. And I think that they were tired of the backlash. The new author's note was, I wrote this for me, and then the fandom made it toxic. I've healed. I've made friends through this fandom. I've found my love of Voltron again, but I need to be rid of the thing that holds me back. AO3 won't let me delete it. So I've done what I can to cleanse myself, my life, and my headspace. And I don't know, writing a fanfiction that relies on lots of stereotypes and like, I don't know, just kind of broad generalizations for yourself as a white person is kind of iffy. Like, I don't know. Writing it for yourself, but still being like a little bit racist about it is, yeah. Anyway, it really was like a moment when Dirty Laundry was turned into the B-movie script. Some people were like, no, it's lost forever. Other people were like, hell yeah, it's the B-movie script now. The evil has been defeated. I feel like there have been other times in the Voltron fandom when there's an evil has been defeated moment, like when Elan Tori deleted, or Elan Tori got deleted on Tumblr. I don't know. Yeah, because that's a whole nother discourse. There's so much discourse in the Voltron fandom. So much. I kind of want to make like a timeline of it. That's so much work because there's a lot of it. Like spanning 2 years, a little bit over 2 years. So much happened. And I was there for all of it. Well, I mean, I still have not finished season 8 because I don't want to do that to myself. Like, I watched the first 2 episodes of it with friends when it came out, And I was like, I can't do this. And I fell asleep because we were watching it at 3 in the morning on Rabbit. Rest in peace, Rabbit. Oh my God, I miss her every day. So yeah, what can we learn from Dirty Laundry? Number 1, it had a huge impact on the Voltron fandom and how fics were written and how characters were characterized in fanon. Number 2, don't write like passion projects that are based off of racist stereotypes and characterizations. Number 3, Voltron sucks. The fandom sucks. The show sucked. Number 4, kick. Keep on kicking, guys. This is so rough. You can like tell that I've never done this before. Oh my God. Guys, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's my video. Like and subscribe because I would love to talk about this stuff more in my own special way. Yeah, because I have so many thoughts about Voltron and just the fandom. Because I've gone, like during quarantine, I went through like just a phase where I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was regressing. I was regressing back to like 2017. I don't know why, but I was, because I had nothing better to do really. So, yeah, thanks for watching. If you watch this, like and subscribe. And give me suggestions for other things that you might want me to talk about in a terrible, horrible, jumbled way. I would love to do it. So, bye. Thank you.